How's it going, my fellow geeks and Transformers fans? It is I, CyberKnight-Miky, bringing you another Transformers video review. And this time we're gonna take a look at Transformers Legacy Evolution Leader Class Skyquake. Finally a proper Skyquake figure. Now, for those who don't know who Skyquake is, basically he's a character that pretty much appeared in Transformers Prime, where he was awakened by Starscream, where he's trying to literally, Starscream trying to tell Skyquake that he's now the leader of our Decepticons, but Skyquake don't buy it. He then fights both Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, scans Agent follows yet. He fights, and then pretty much died and became a zombie. That's pretty much it. But, and of course, there was also the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise toy line, where they both Skyquake and Dreadwing, which they are pretty much twin brothers. It's pretty much explained more in the overall show, which I highly recommend watching it. But yeah, back in my day, back when I was in my youth, I pretty much wanted a goddamn Skyquake and Dreadwing in my whole life, but never got it because, well, due to distribution and Sweden don't have it. Don't you just love when Sweden don't have this stuff that you really want? But well, we don't live in goddamn 2012, 2015 right now. But right now we're literally having an actual proper, better looking Skyquake, which he actually, if I remember correctly, he pretty much is based around the G1 kind of appearance. I hope. While having the also head that pretty much resemble the G2 designs. So actually quite a nice blend. But as we see at the box, we have the overall logo, and here we have Skyquake in his menacing looking face, of course. And of course we got this. And of course we got the Leo Prime, and then we got some Junkions, and of course some Dinobots in the background. And of course Tarn. Or is it supposed to be that Nemesis ship? Oh well. And of course we got the Evil Fusion! And of course the compatibility with another Transformers that is pretty much an homage to Mindwipe and the other kind of scout figure that literally combine each other to form, well, a jet that literally landed on another jet. It's pretty fun, but I don't have figures, so I cannot literally compare it in the overall view. I will show it, but yeah. Moving down to the overall jet, it is quite a great resemblance to the overall Transformers Prime overall jet and the combination of the G1 jet with the overall base and silhouette of the Prime design that the Agents Follow jet had, with the wingtips on the side, and of course the other back wings, and of course the thruster that is literally there. But consider it is also a combination of the G1. It also has these thrusters, which is not on the Transformers Prime one, but it is reminiscent to G1. And of course, you also get more thrusters, which is literally ludicrously insane, but I love it. Plus, it's blast effect compatible. Nice. The only problem I do have with the jet is that the overall the tapping mechanism is neat and squished, but it can be untabbed a little bit. Sorry for the overall background, but either way, it is you can literally squeeze it together to literally get it in place, but I'm literally going to display him later on in the overall robot mode, so I don't pretty much mind. And of course, the cockpit has also another feature that you can literally open it up and reveal seats. Nice. I can literally imagine a goddamn Top Gun Maverick moment where, God, I love that movie. But unlike the Transformers Prime RID figure, the overall jet aesthetic, pretty much on the set, instead of just looking at this side, it looks amazing, but it also looks pretty nice here for the overall figure. What I'm trying to say is that the Legacy figure looks so much better cleaning up the overall robot junk. Well, sort of, but even though it is a little bit messy, It is tons, 10 times better than the Robots in Disguise Voyager figure back in 2012. Because man, did it have some ugly kibble. So kudos to Hasbro to actually, and Takara, to literally engineer the overall figure in such way. And of course you also got the landing gears, which you can either fold down or up. But also you also got a stand port, where you can literally take this guy with a base of your choice. I'm using a Tamashii Elimination Act 4 stand. I recommend using an F5, but let the professional do it, and you can literally display it like so. Have a little angle like so. Nice and easy. And voila, you got a display piece where he's just going ludicrous speed. Kind of wish they also support here, so you can literally put a blast effect on that thruster, but it's just for the transformation. But we're not quite done with the overall jet mode, because you also have another you get an accessory, which is literally the Gatling gun. And I gotta be honest, this is the most puniest Gatling gun I've seen in my life. Not even Heavy is quite impressed. But you know, size doesn't matter, it's how you use it. Even though it would have been better if it was a little bit bigger, to be honest. And of course you can also get the option either to plug it like an either port, which is a bit stupid, but you can also literally plug it on the side. Looks stupid. But you can also use this kind of handle, which is on a ball joint, so you can literally close it up together like so, and get a little bit more tacked in. Doesn't have the problem, but it is a thing. But it's mostly using this port onto his ass. No, I'm not kidding. This is literally his ass. So you can literally take that and just shove it in. Great weapon storage, however, now it becomes useless to use this stand. So, yeah, it's kind of a bugger. Luckily for me, I have another stand that's a bit better. And that's way better. As for size comparison, here we have a Skyquake next to Transformers Prime First Edition Cliff Jumper, which they are pretty much out of scale. But they're in scale. I think it's more in scale with the Core Class Optimus Prime and of course New Age Solus Prime. And honestly, I like the scale a little bit better because you can feel the presence and the overall size. And considering the overall cockpit indicates that these people are mostly that big. So yeah, it's more appropriate. But without that out of the way, let's go and transform this guy real quick, shall we? First things first, you just need to bring in the overall cockpit. And this is something I will bring up with the overall cockpit functionality later on. But first things first, you need to untab the side panels. Then you need to flip down the wings, which it is you need to have another figure to literally do the compatibility, but I don't have the figure, so I don't pretty much care. So what you're gonna do now is just untab the wings here, and of course the bigger ones, like so. Then what you're gonna do now is to hinge out the legs. Then you need to twist them, and then take this part of the 5, which they all are, instead of the overall Game Shop gray, it's more gunmetal gray, which I appreciate. And then you just twist them to the side like so. Same for the other one. Now what you're gonna do is take the feet like so, and here's something I quite don't get, is that this thruster literally it's literally on the way here, it's literally here. But why did they design that it is on a hinge? I mean, what purpose does it even serve? I mean, you can literally just... It doesn't really serve anything. It's just there. And what purpose does it even use? It doesn't function in the alt mode or robot mode. So why does it even exist? I just don't get it. Oh well, it is what it is. But you take this wing and just clip it in like so. Is not that solid, but hey, I can live with it. Beam bada boom. And now you're gonna take these arms and you just bring out this stupid ratcheted rotation, which I will explain later, which is a bit of a critique. But for now, we just untap the arms. Then we take the overall base here. Well, first things first, we need to untap flame open, like so. Then you just rotate like 90 degrees. And then you just twist them, angle them like so, a little bit. And then just twist them. Gotta bring out the arms first. Twist them like so. And then for the other one as well. And now you can rotate them back. We will shift this part later on, but for now, what you're gonna do now is just take this part and then you just unhinge that part. And then you just bring out down the cockpit, shift the head forward, shift the head forward. Then you take this cockpit, just open up a little bit. Then you need to bring down the droop snoot, and then you just twist the overall panel here, which the wheels need to be folded down, otherwise it would not work. And then you just twist down the overall torso like so. And this is where actually we will bring down. Fuck. Can you just not move for like 10 minutes? Okay, other than that incident, we just take this part, then we just first things first, we need to twist the panel here, and then we fold it in like so. Same for the other one. And then you just tap these ones together like so. And then you're gonna make sure that these tabs tap into these slots very easily, in theory, if you don't modify. And now we bring out the issue with this copy, because if you I'm just gonna do this. Okay, let me explain the overall situation. Okay, if you see here, there is literally a groove where this wheel is supposed to go inward when you transform. However, the groove is, not just a bit small, and what was supposed to be a piece was blocking the way. So the overall tabability, the functionality to tap in the overall wings was incomplete. Hasbro, I don't know why you engineered it like so. Couldn't you just have it a little bit more longer? Because without that modification, the type-in system with the wings like so wouldn't really work. And it is a bit of an engineering problem. It's a kind of an engineering flaw, which is a bit of a disappointment. However, what you can do, if you are good at modifying, if you're not, well, just leave it be. But I found a way that you can literally just take a kind of a kit knife, like model kit knife, where it's accessory knife or something like that, and then just make a. What you're gonna do first is literally take it a little bit, shave off a little bit, just so you can get, this groove a little bit more exposure, like this same length as this area. Because if you don't, then the wheel cannot, shove in properly without bumping into this piece or the surface area of the overall piece. But with it bit sheared off, and now with the overall cockpit now assembled, now it's a bit more easier to shove in this piece. Then you just bring out the overall wing section, and of course you need to bring down the nose cone before you do anything, like so. And then you just assemble it like you usually do. But now with all that done, you just take this piece and then you just collapse it like so. And now you have a little bit more easier way to well, pretty much tap in the wings, and then as well tap in this groove, which is not better, but well, maybe not the perfection, but hey, it's better than just not tapping in at all. Well, it gets a little bit better if you do it properly, but hey, at least with that modification, now you have it more tapped in. It will not hold in place 100% secured, but it is a way to literally get it more lined up how it's supposed to be, instead of just, well, not. But anyway, then you take these panels and just rest them like there. It doesn't tap in. Yes, it's a butterfly joint, but due to it's a problem I'm gonna mention, but you're unhinged. You pretty much flip out the hands and then you just fold the panel, which I will give kudos to Hasbro and Takara with that ingenuity, because that is a clever way to cover up the gap while also literally have the functionality of pretty much flipping out, pretty much bring in the arms and also have the panel resting there when you transform it back into alt mode, which is a clever decision, Hasbro and Takara. But well, with both arms pretty much fully transformed, and with the shoulder panels now actually collapse, pretty much rested here, it doesn't really tap in, but hey. And now you have Skyquake in his robot mode, and my goodness, now that is a unit. Okay, for overall looks and painted details and all that sort of stuff, it is exquisite. It is fantastic. I mean, my god. Even though it's supposed to be more G1 looking Skyquake, it's still a great kind of representation. Also, a kind of respected looking for homage to the overall Transformers Prime design, but it doesn't really sacrifice too much which result in a different looking robot mode that looks too much Chug G1 aesthetic, that doesn't look like a character from a different show. RC and Bulkhead. But just like Knockout, Skyquake is pretty much looks pretty much identical to the overall Transformers Prime design, but having more of a G1 sprinkled G1 look on him, while still looks like Skyquake from the show, but more stylistic and actually more bulky and actually looking faithful to both G1 and Prime design. And of course, we take a look at the noggin, which of course, while these pieces do tap in, it doesn't tap in properly. I will fix it. But as we take a look at the noggin, which has light piping, which I will show you right now. But it is, I don't think it's quite a good getaway, but it could have been painted. But either way, it's still a great looking face sculpt. I mean, I know exactly who this is supposed to be, while still being more faithful to the G1 design and Prime. It's a good combination, done right. And of course, the shoulder panels looking exquisite. It looks bulky. The arms, bulky. The belly, a bit flat, but still rock solid. The Autobot Axinia, great placement, but I wish there was also silver highlights, because it just does almost get lost in the orange plastic, which is a bit of a shame. But hey, if you have rep labels or kind of Shoshi store sticker sheets like this one, you can or pretty much the original one before they literally changed, there will be before they literally changed it to look more like the shadow glass kind of look. You can literally have the silver highlights and just place it on the chest, and boom, you get a better looking. And of course the legs, beefy, chunky, meaty. Well, technically not meaty, more like melty, but whatever. And of course, the paint apps on the wings, which, dear goodness, it looks good. Wish it was a little bit more paint on here to highlight the overall silver mechanical detail, but I don't mind it. It still looks great. And the overall, backpack, which is not that bad at all. It actually looks like a proper backpack, but I mean, he literally looks like that in the show, so I don't mind it looking like so, while still being faithful to the overall Prime design and G1. Quite great blend. Now, the overall, his spurs doesn't really move, like I mentioned before, because, well, actually, when we are talking about the overall, ingenuity, you can literally put the thrusters, the same glass effects, just to make him looking like a goddamn Superman, or literally a Decepticon going chase, while also having thruster effect, which actually looks fucking rad. That is, I love that. It's literally like this Siege Seekers, but it's Skyquake, and soon Dreadwind, because it's confirmed that he's also gonna release, and I'm looking forward to it. But now let's talk about something that I want to mention about the QC, which I will explain now in the articulation, because oh boy, do I have a lot to tell Hasbro. Hasbro, if you're watching this, please, I love your figures and your company, but there's a lot of things you gotta fix, because the overall head movement has a ball joint, which is pretty much fine, and I actually like how it feels. It's smooth, it's posable, it has more expression, and also has a little bit tilt side by side, and it is quite great movement. The shoulder panels, literally doesn't tap in, but it is free will and actually has a lot of movement just to get more expression and posability. The overall arms, can rotate 360 degrees, and these don't tap in at all, which I get the overall functionality of having butterfly joint while also holding the accessory, which I will explain later, but without the overall functionality, having a tab to tap in the arm, it kind of get a bit, let's just say, non-secure when you have Hasbro. Why the fuck did you literally have ratchet joints on the arm? What is this? Hasbro, I know that you want to have a secured, rope leader class figure, but this is ridiculous tight. And there's no way to literally fix it, because you're literally pinning it in. Like, come on, bro. I know that you want to have it a little bit more secure, but this is ridiculous fucking tight. Like, oh my god. If you thought that the Arc literally has scary ratchet joints, you have not seen this. This is just too tight. Well, maybe not the Arc's kind of too tightness, but it's almost close, but still, I wish it... I'm probably gonna order it up just to get it a little bit more smoother, because this is just... Hasbro, fix this with Dreadwing, please. Don't have it too tight. It will literally break the arm. And then you also have a bicep rotation, which is nice, but kind of almost doesn't function. You need to literally hold it in place if you want to move it, because, like I mentioned before, it doesn't tap in. And of course you get the double jointed elbows, which is pretty nice. You got wrist swivel, which is nice. And of course, you get a waist swivel, which, my goodness, that is actually quite brilliant. Yeah. Eat that, Earthrise Starscream. And of course, due to the overall transformation, which is actually more functionality to overall transformation, you can untab it to get an ab crunch, which is pretty nice. But it's more a function to literally, well, it's more for the overall transformation, which you need to tap it in like so. And of course, like I mentioned before with the overall ratchets, Hasbro, please fix it just so you get a smoother looking, functionality with the overall tabs and the arms, and just get this fixed. Like, come on. The overall wing support arms and the overall backpack doesn't tab in, almost doesn't tab in properly. Come on, fix your shit. And of course, speaking of fixing your shit, then we have kicking out, which is nice Ratchet. That is really a nice kick, and he also can kick out that far. So 9 degrees spread from the back, nice. And then you get a nice ratcheted outward movement, so you can get a wonderful spread. And then you get a 5 swivel, which almost how can we not get this kind of ratchet joints on the arm? I don't get it. And of course you get double jointed knees, which is pretty nice. But I do wish these tab in a little bit more properly. But you also get a toe down, which is more for the transformation. And of course a pivot, which is not that much, but hey, I take what I can get. Posability of this guy is pretty rad, and actually is quite excellent, but it is not perfect due to the overall untabbiness of the backpack. And of course, the butterfly joint doesn't really tap in, or is that more secured or solid. And the outward movement of the arms, being hard ratchets, really brings down the figure that much. I'm sorry, but Hasbro, you really need to fix this. Like, when you release Dreadwing, just loosen up the ratchets, don't make it too tight, and of course fix the overall back section, and of course the butterfly joint being more secured. Then I have no problem. Otherwise, a great posability on a great guy, even though he's pretty much dead in the show. But hey, c'est la vie. It is what it is. But now, before we round up the overall review, you're gonna don't forget that you also come with this Gatling gun, which is only, you can literally have it like, well, either plug it in like so you can literally have it shouldered up on his arm, which, I mean, it's a way, but it looks a bit goofy, but hey, c'est la vie. And of course, by a small function to hold it like so, which I would like if it was a little bit more angled like so. But hey, sometimes it is what it is. But of course, due to how it actually functioned, which I will bring up later. And of course, there's a reason why the butterfly joint is not tapped in, is because it is serves a function to literally hold the Gatling gun like so. So you can literally have him looking like so, and have the shoulder panels that has a ball joint to angle like so, and that is a pretty nice looking way to hold a weapon, even though it is a bit tad small in my opinion, which it was a little bit larger, but hey, I can live with this. But I feel like it's more better if you twist it and you hold it like so, which I do love. There's a way to actually have it, the handle being on a ball joint, because you have free will to hold it like so, while also holding it like in this kind of position. Now that is a way to hold a Gatling gun. Now Harry is amused. That's nice. But there's also the Evo Fusion, which the overall ammo is literally, well, a orange energy looking weapon, which this is more a homage to Dreadwing's blade. And I don't know why he's supposed to have this, because I don't recall Skyquake ever having a sword in the show. It's more reminiscent to Dreadwing, but Skyquake not that much because he doesn't have even use it. But hey, I don't mind. But he can hold his sword like so, and it actually looks pretty damn nice. Although I still don't like how the overall clickiness of the hinge joint of the on the shoulder. It is not that pleasant. But still, that is a Decepticon. For size comparison, here we have a Dreadwing next to the two Autobots that literally brought him down in the one episode, which is the Transformers Prime First Edition Optimus Prime, which is the APC toys, and then we have the Rise of the Beast Studio Series Bumblebee, which I did customize it to look a little bit more better, and my god, that is a nice display. But we're not done! Here we have it next to my big boy, the big Chad himself, Ironhide, which looks more like Trailbreaker, but hey, c'est la vie, I still like this character a lot. Oh yeah, of course, due to the overall thrusters being, the overall heel spurs being just thrusters, means that he can, it doesn't give him that much support, but if you balance them properly, it doesn't fall over that much. So, to summarize, Transformers Legacy Evolution Leader Class Skyquake is a great figure overall. However, I would recommend getting this figure if you know how to fix the problems, because as I stated before, with the overall quality control issues and the overall flaws of this figure, of course the design flaws, is that I do wish that Hasbro in some way in the future do fix these problems, because man, the functionality of the tabbing system for the backpack is almost broken, and of course the shoulders on the Ratchet is way too tight. And Hasbro, if you're actually watching this, please fix them with Dreadwing, because I really love this figure. I really do, but this is kind of an issue I have with Transformers figures that has Ratchet joints like so. It almost is a bit scary in a way. Like, it feels like you're almost breaking it. And that's not a good sign when you're trying to sell this product to customers who really like this design and like the character. But they don't want the character to break in their hands when they're literally having it for the first time. Because it is a bit unfortunate. But let's hope that Hasbro, if you're actually watching it, that you actually fix them with your Dreadwing once you release him. Because this is actually seeing great potential of this actually being a perfect looking figure somewhat. But either of these flaws, I still love the overall design. It's quite super faithful to the Prime design, and of course G1 design, combining together to form the ultimate form. The weapons, while a little bit small, is a nice upgrade to the overall gun gimmick from the Robots in Disguise Prime toy line, which they suck. But these ones, they do not. And of course the Evo Fusion, well, a bit gimmicky, and I understand why. The paint apps, extraordinary. I do wish that you have the silver highlights for the Decepticons insignia, because they almost get lost in the overall chest. And of course, the jet mode. I do love the jet mode. And of course, let's just say that I'm actually looking forward to get Dreadwing if those problems are fixed. And I do not regret having him in my collection, even with those flaws. But I do wish that those flaws disappear with Dreadwing. Either way, I hope that's pretty much all. That's pretty much all I had to say about Dreadwing. And as I see, the runtime is quite long. I know, but hey, this is literally my kind of review. I literally trying to explain these things in my point of view and how I feel. But either way, if you like overall, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, if you like what you see, make sure to hit the like button. And overall, a great looking figure overall. And if you want to get this figure, you can literally get it in a Big Bad Toy Store, or if you live in Sweden, you can literally get it at Hero Mick, which is a Swedish, store, online store, where you can literally get any kind of geek stuff, like your Harry Potters, your NECA, your Essex Monsters, your Essex Figuarts, your Transformers, your Master of the Universe with He-Man, and all that sort of fun stuff. But that's all I have to say about now. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, if you like what you see, make sure that you hit the like button. And of course, if you want to know your overall opinion about this figure, then make sure that you pretty much comment down below. And if you want to see more of these kind of style of Transformers reviews, or reviews in general, or more kind of content that I create, then make sure that you subscribe to this channel to support the channel. And of course, I also have a Patreon if you literally want to support this, to support my financial situation. Because honestly, if you want me to review more stuff, well, that's literally an option. It's only $1, so if you want to support, you can do that. It's free will. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's totally fine. But either way, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you when as always, only time will tell when my next review is going to be. But until then, I'll see you all next time.